The Celtics just put an end to the Lakers' 8-game win streak with a dominant showing on their home floor, and in a game that featured 40 points from Jason Tatum, 31 from Jaylen Brown. Probably the biggest story was the way a 38-year-old Al Horford not only held up defensively, but completely shut down LA's offense through his versatility. Without Jackson Hayes, the Lakers went small. That meant Horford spent his time matched up with one of the weaker shooting wings, where he could freely roam behind the play like a free safety and protect the rim. And with Horford operating along the baseline, not only does he offer an interior presence, anytime the Lakers found themselves with a mismatch, they'd execute a scram switch to get him on the ball, as he's just a lot more physically capable against a guy like LeBron. So the Lakers, of course, responded by having Horford's man set high ball screens. That way they could pull him away from the paint and into the primary action. The Celtics were more than prepared to cover this though, just like they were in last year's finals. Whenever Horford's man set a screen, he'd come out to the three-point line so that he's in a position to switch if needed. But as long as the point of attack defender never made contact, they'd play the action straight up. Then, if the on-ball defender got taken away from the ball by that screen, that's when Horford would switch onto the perimeter. And at 38 years old, to say he holds up well in space would be an understatement. After getting Horford switched onto the ball, Boston's game plan was to have him force attacks to the middle, where one of their wings would be waiting to help. And Luka's footwork allows him to create some separation, but they just didn't want him getting to the rim. The Lakers had a counter though. If Luka was on the ball, they'd put LeBron on the wing one pass away, knowing that the Celtics aren't looking to help off of him. And if LeBron was on the ball, they'd put Luka in that spot for the same reason. The only problem is that Horford didn't actually need that help to hold his own in isolation. Horford found himself on an island with either Luka or LeBron many times in the first half, and time again he cut off drives, while the rest of the guys packed the paint to make non-shooters live on the outside. It was the same thing to start the third. Remember, they're only gonna switch if the screen hits hard, and on this one, Derek White does a great job of staying glued to Reeves, so Horford never has to leave his man. Here's another example. The Celtics don't want White switching onto LeBron, so Horford plays the ball in a drop while White recovers to Reeves, and the action doesn't lead to any big advantage. Whenever Horford wasn't involved in the action, he continued to make plays from the baseline. This time, White actually does find himself on LeBron, and once again, you're going to see that scram switch to avoid the mismatch, and the Lakers end up with a corner three from Finney-Smith. Then on the one instance where Horford was pulled into the action and White was lost on a screen, Horford made an immediate read to jump out to the ball on a switch, and for the first time, he actually does get beat off the dribble, but Reeves can't convert. After that failed attack, the Lakers finally decided to adjust their offensive approach. Instead of hunting for Horford every time down the floor, they shifted their focus to attacking smaller defenders, knowing that Luka and LeBron can really punish defenders who give up size. But that just put Horford back in that free safety role. On this one, Luka's hunting for Pritchard, and when he drives, he runs right into Horford at the rim. And next time down, they actually have Pritchard hedge, while Horford drops behind the play to protect the paint. Then they scramble to recover, and Vanderbilt picks up an offensive foul. That takes us to the end of the third, where the Lakers tried multiple different ways to limit Horford's impact and wound up in a 20-point hole. But he was on the bench to start the fourth, so the Lakers finally found some success, either by attacking Cornette and forcing him to defend in space, or by attacking Sam Hauser or Peyton Pritchard and using their size to create quality offense in the paint. And this actually worked extremely well. So by the time Horford checked back into the game, the Lakers were rolling and really starting to cut into that lead. They stayed hot for most of the fourth, and at one point, Luka actually hit a tough step back three to make it just a 4-point game. Then with a little over 2 minutes left, Luka decided to get back to hunting for the Horford switch. On this one, they clear out for a top of the key isolation, and for the first time all night, he actually gets by the big man for an easy shot in the paint. So a play later, he wanted that switch again, only this time Horford slides his feet to cut off multiple attack angles and stays glued to a drive to make it a tough look down low. And for good measure, when Reeves tried to attack him while they were up 10 with a little over a minute left, he once again cut off a drive, then took a swipe at the ball to force a turnover, and that would end up sealing the game. The Lakers made things interesting with that fourth quarter comeback, but ultimately the Celtics remained in the driver's seat, walking out with a 10-point win. Al Horford took on many different defensive roles throughout this game, and time again, he made a huge defensive impact. He played 37 minutes, and during that time, the Celtics were plus 16. They also held the Lakers to an offensive rating of just 101 during those minutes, which is especially indicative of what Horford did because LA's game plan was to attack him in space. You could even take a quick glance at the box score and assume he made some plays, as he picked up 5 deflections, 3 steals, and a block. But where you'll really see that impact is in the play type data. According to Synergy Sports Tracking, Horford defended 14 isolations and gave up 4 points on those plays. That's an average of 0.286 points per possession. He also defended 9 pick and rolls and gave up 11 points, meaning that in total, he defended 23 different perimeter actions and gave up 15 points, or 0.65 points per possession. In a game where 2 of the best offensive players ever made an effort to hunt for a 38-year-old center, that center not only held his own, he completely shut their water off. And as long as he's moving like this, the Celtics will remain one of the most versatile defenses this game has seen in a very long time. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn my post notifications on to be first on more content. If you're interested in my more in-depth research, make sure to check out the Hoop Venue podcast and my social media profiles. You can find those links in the description. Feel free to let me know down in the comments what you thought of this game. As always, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.